Hey, what's up? You know, I debated whether or not I should post anything about Charlie Kirk on my social media. My social media, by the way, is just my YouTube community board or whatever they call it. I'm trying to make it a thing. It's definitely not working out. But I debated whether or not I should post something up there because I don't really know Charlie Kirk. I watch his content a little bit to get familiar with it because I kept hearing how racist he is and sexist and all this other stuff. And then when you actually watch content, you're like, oh, he's not.
What? What the fuck?
But I ended up making a post on my other channel, by the ways. And man, I knew this was gonna come. I'll put it up right here. Boom. Here's the thing about me. I don't know why this is controversial, but I think murder is murder no matter what. And as a black man, I'm not supposed to do that, especially if I never ever called out any other black, brown minorities who have gotten killed due to doing nothing. And I guess I got to make that public to y'all, whether I talk about it or not. And of course, George Floyd was brought up too. Man.
Oh, that was different.
So apparently, I'm seeing a lot of discussion or argument online about conservatives not being able to, say, turn down the temperature. Yes, I would like for President Donald J. Trump to tone down the temperature. I would also like everybody to turn down the temperature. And apparently it's a thing that conservatives aren't able to disavow murders. I don't know what's going on here, but here, I'll do it for everyone if people need this. Okay, you ready? I disavow all murders. Again, keyword is all murders. That means white on black crime, black on white crime, black on black crime, white on white crime, LGBTQ crimes, Asian murders, Hispanic murders, all, you know what? All ethnicity. Again, how about this? I disavow all murders. Even if a cop abuses his power and kills somebody, I disavow that as well. Okay, can we all just be on the same page now? Because apparently if we don't say this, we get unhinged behavior like this.
Having a debate or dialogue doesn't automatically mean that you agree with everything they have to say. It means that
it's when you sit down and you're
exchanging ideas and debating them.
A few moments later.
Right now,
it's just
bullshit investigations into every
that's just
political opponent.
Are we watching a bunch of mentally ill people for our entertainment and we just don't realize it? Am I mentally ill? Because this is the behavior I'm talking about. It's like you can't even talk. You are so unhinged and you control your emotions that you lash out like this.
That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it. But I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of... Oh my god.
But when you see unhinged behavior, let me show you one more time.
How about your parents? If they get their brains blown out at a rally, would you have the same attitude? They are democracy-hating insurrectionists, after all. One, you permaban for asking a stupid question, because the obvious answer, two, is, listen, they're adults. They make their own fucking... If you want to support an insurrectionist president, then whatever comes of that, that's your consequences. Again, it's not a fucking joke.
When you display this type of unhinged behavior, it means that you need to disconnect from the internet, because the real world is not how that guy sees it. At all, okay? That's the online world, but clearly it is seeped into his real mind, and maybe that's why Destiny kind of turned into this weirdo. Or, like all black people say, maybe it's because he's...
Here's to show.
You know, when I was calling people libtards, I was referring to these people on the left, right? Like those, yeah, it's usually like the people on TikTok, the ones doing all those crazy videos. I don't know if it's performative or not, but that's who I was making fun of. Just like when everyone was making fun of all the conservative, the MAGA people, you would see...
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams.
A lot of really excited people.
The question is simple.
Who
Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name is in the Epstein files? Yes or no?
Why don't you try spelling it out?
Yes or no, Director?
Use the alphabet.
Yes or no?
No, A, B, C,
Director,
D, E, F.
it sounds like you don't want to tell us. Did you tell the Attorney General that Donald Trump's name was in the Epstein files?
Why don't you try serving your constituency by focusing on reducing violence?
6.5 hours later.
It sounds like if you don't know the number, it could at least be 1,000 times.
It's not. It's not.
Is it at least 500 times?
No.
Is it at least 100 times?
No.
Then what's the number?
I don't know the number, but it's not that.
12:00 midnight.
Dylan Roof, who followed white supremacist propaganda, murdered 9 black parishioners in Charleston in 2015. Do you deny this?
I'm sorry. Dylan Ruth? Roof, can you give me some more information?
You're head of the FBI, you probably know this. If you don't know, that's fine.
You can give me a reminder. I've got a lot in front of me.
It was national news.
So when I shot this episode, what I'm about to play, I was thinking about going faceless completely on this channel because I am scared. Because I already have way too many bodies underneath me. I don't want to add another one. Things have changed, and I just don't want to see the world continue to go down that path. So without further ado, let's begin. Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Irina Sorotska, Charlie Kirk. All of these names made headlines due to tragic deaths. Different circumstances, different threat levels, different reactions from the public, but they all have one thing in common. They are no longer with us. Their deaths sparked outrage, and in some cases, that outrage led to more violence, destruction, and division. But have you heard of Isabel Carlos, a 12-year-old girl killed in her sleep when 2 men sprayed 37 bullets into 3 homes? What about Trung Tran, a 33-year-old man shot while working at Holyoke Mall? Or Kaylee Knight, a 9-year-old struck by gunfire while sleeping on the couch at home? You may not have heard of any of them. Why? Because their stories didn't fit the narrative that drives division and ratings. But violence like this happens all the time in America. Only certain stories get highlighted, and those stories create an emotional reaction. Why is that? It's called parasocial grief. So why does this happen? Why do some deaths dominate the headlines while others are ignored? It's part of what psychologists call parasocial grief. Imagine you've been following a celebrity for years. You feel like you know them, their likes, their dislikes, even the small details of their life. Now let me use myself for example. Let's say I'm friends with Paul Walter Hauser. I know his wife's name, his favorite hobbies, and I feel like I'm close to him. We've even met after all, so we're friends, right? But then I've realized I'm just one out of millions of fans who follows him online. This might sound a little bit crazy, but this is exactly what happens with parasocial relationships. You get emotionally invested in someone's life, their jokes, their podcast appearances, their careers, but the truth is, you don't really know them at all. And if something happened to that person, they retire, or worst case scenario, pass away, you feel like you lost a friend. But in reality, you never knew that person, yet emotionally it's all as if you did. That, my friend, is called parasocial grief. This is the emotional equivalent of having a breakup with someone who doesn't even know you exist. You feel sadness, maybe even shed a few tears, but when your friends look at you like you're insane, they're probably right. Because in a sense, you are. It's like being a fan of a fictional character, except that character is real. You don't know them personally, but you feel deep emotional connections. And when something happens to them, you grieve, or if they say something you don't agree with, you become angry. But that grief and anger is based on a fantasy you've built in your mind. And this is where it gets dangerous. If your grief turns into anger and you lack emotional intelligence, you might start taking destructive actions. You could protest or loot stores or even harass others online. Thinking is justified. You're caught up in an echo chamber surrounded by other people who support your cause. Sounds kind of familiar, like, I don't know, Blue Sky or X. But what you might not realize is that the grief and anger isn't solving anything. Instead, it's perpetuating the cycle of destruction. When your emotions are hijacked by parasocial grief, you're not just grieving for someone you didn't know, you're reacting to a narrative that has been shaped for you. A story that fits a certain mold, one that's designed to provoke. This is where things go off the rails. You might start to believe that your outrage is justified, but it's based on an illusion. You're not fighting for justice or truth. You're reacting to an emotional charged spectacle that doesn't necessarily reflect the reality, and you might do something as disgusting as to go on TikTok or Blue Sky and celebrate the assassination of a husband and a father of 2 young children because you didn't like his rhetoric. The trouble is, when emotions like grief and anger aren't processed with emotional intelligence, they can spiral. And this is where it gets dangerous. You might start taking action, not only actions that hurt others, but hurt yourself in the process. Whether it's protesting in the streets, looting stores, harassing people online, or killing people. But at that moment, it feels right to you. It feels like you're doing something and standing for something right, defending the actions against someone you never truly knew. But this is where the emotional manipulation and parasocial grief blurs the line between justified anger and reckless behavior. When we get caught up in these parasocial dynamics, we forget that we have the ability to step back and think critically about why we feel the way we do. We forget that the real emotional pain is not ours to carry, especially when it comes to people we don't know personally. The family and friends of the actual victims are the ones who feel the deepest loss, and the grief is far more complex and lasting than anything we can experience from afar. Instead of letting parasocial grief fuel destructive actions, we should ask ourselves, why am I so upset? What is really bothering me? Am I reacting to a narrative that has been presented to me, or am I engaging with actual reality of this situation? When we take the time to process these feelings in a healthier, more thoughtful way, we can actually start to make decisions based on empathy and not emotional manipulation. The danger is not that we feel deeply about injustice or tragedy. That's natural human response, I think, right? I think we all agree. The danger is that we let the grief and the anger turn into something that's uncontrollable and destructive. It's fine to mourn the loss of a public figure or a tragic event. It's okay to not agree with someone online and just keep it moving. It's okay to not like something someone says, but we have to understand the distinction between real grief, anger, and parasocial grief and anger. We have to be able to see the difference between reacting to fabricated emotional connections to someone and honoring the genuine suffering of those who are truly impacted. When we recognize that we've caught the grip of parasocial grief, we can start to break the cycle. It's not about dismissing our emotions or pretending we don't care about things that matter. It's about understanding the difference between genuine empathy and the kind of emotional charged reaction that's engineered to drive division and push people into doing things they otherwise wouldn't do in a proper mindset. By stepping back and asking those critical questions, why does this feel so personal to me? We can begin to see a difference between what's real and what's manufactured. We can learn to process our feelings in healthier ways rather than letting them dictate our actions in a reckless or destructive way. The Catholic school shooting that took 2 kids. You have one side that's stricken by grief and angry with the trans cycle that was also stricken by anger towards an institution it felt oppressed it. Is the rational solution to go and kill babies, causing havoc to a community, destroying the lives of parents who have the grief with the pain of the loss of their children? Was it worth giving every one of those kids who survived PTSD for the rest of their lives and the anger that this has caused across social media? What about Irina Saruska? What about Charlie Kirks, a YouTuber whose entire platform is about having hard conversations publicly and engaging in the differences of opinion? Is it okay to take his life? He was annoying online and rubbed you the wrong way. So screw the fact that he has 2 young daughters who are not going to grow up without a father, or a wife that has lost her husband, who most likely also supported her. That doesn't matter because he has strong opinions on abortions, I guess. In the end, parasocial grief reveals a deeper truth. It's not the tragedy itself that sparks real change, but how we respond to it. Are we reacting out of true empathy for the victims and the loved ones? Are we being swept up in a narrative that's designed to provoke us, to make us feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves, and to take action? NCRI released a brief on what's called assassination culture, which I believe Charlie Kirks himself even spoke about, which isn't just about politics, but also about the way we form one-sided emotional bonds to public figures and allow those feelings to spill into public light. Memes that celebrate violence, for example, against Trump or Elon, coded hashtags like Free Luigi, and Blue Sky bastard beta son of X amplifying these emotions because it's a platform full of like-minded people. In that light, NCRI did a study and found that the percentages of people saying murder is somewhat justified is concerning, and signs of parasocial grief curling in rage, and how personal disappointment can be weaponized into political hostilities. So next time the media or social media stirs you up, pause. Take a moment to reflect. Are you feeling real grief? Or have you been pulled into a parasocial relationship that doesn't even exist? Are you this angry to want to go out there and actually do something destructive and destroy other people's lives, their livelihoods, their feelings, because you are upset with what's happening? Is that justified? By recognizing the difference, you can reclaim your emotional autonomy and make choices that honor their real struggles without letting your emotions be manipulated for ratings or divisions, or worse, death. I hope this episode resonated with y'all. We are in weird times, and we have to understand that what you see in the digital world isn't real. And if you allow the digital world to seep into your reality, you will have an outlook in life that will be very, very jaded. And I'm trying to make an effort here on this channel to show you what conservatives really are like, because you have extremes on both sides. Like, I understand liberals. I really do. I used to be one. And the average liberal, not the ones you see online, the average liberal is just a person who may be for gay rights, LGBTQ rights, wants peace and happiness, wants everyone to live their life, wants everyone to have an equal opportunity. They don't want racist people. They don't want fascist people. And they believe what they are being told through the media, just like a lot of us conservatives believe that all liberals behave this way.
Fuck Charlie Kirks! Fuck Charlie Kirks! Fuck Charlie Kirks! Racist bastard! Racist bastard! Piss on your ass!
And these people behave this way because they believe a certain narrative. You have the politician who will play into your feelings. You got beautiful women like AOC.
You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
Who will come up on stage and say ridiculous things that are not true and just continue to throw fuel on the fire.
We should be clear about who Charlie Kirk was. A man who believed that the Civil Rights Act that granted Black Americans the right to vote was a mistake.
And same with the right. You have people on the right who will continue to throw fuel on the fire.
To be very clear, what I'm saying is not any defense for Derek Chauvin. I hope Derek Chauvin gets the justice that he deserves to be, implemented upon him, and that the family of George Floyd deserves justice for the way that he died. But I also am not going to accept the narrative that this is the best the Black community has to offer. For whatever reason, it has become fashionable over the last 5 or 6 years for us to turn criminals into heroes overnight. And it is something that I find to be despicable, and it is something that I refuse to stand by any longer, and I am not going to play a part in it, no matter how much pressure comes from Black liberals and Black conservatives as some token of people wanting you to believe that this is the only way you can be Black, is you have to say this was wrong and that this person was amazing. I won't do that.
I hope this stays with all of you, and I hope you really understand I mean this. We can coexist together. Politics should never be our identity. Our sexuality should never be our identity. Our skin color should never be our identity. The amount of money I have should not be my identity. We should have an agreement on somewhat of our culture, of what we stand for and what we don't stand for. And if we can't agree that murder is murder and that there's no excuse for it, whether it's right or left, Republican, Democrat, Black, white, gay, straight, female, male, if we can't agree, we will continue to have a problem. And until then, we should just disconnect for a while, like I'm going to do. After my next video, then I'm going to disconnect for a while because I'm working on another project. Subscribe.